All right, so we've been talking about your study all this week. We really appreciate you getting this kind of data for us. This is what we need to know what we're facing in COVID-19. Let me start, sir, by asking you some almost nerdy questions about the study itself. There are some questions about how it's randomized, questions about if it's representation or representative of the population. Can it be extrapolated? How do you address those concerns?
Sure. So we tried to make it as representative as possible. No sample is perfect, but we reach out. We used a large database of phone numbers and email addresses and did then reach out and invite people to participate. About 3,200 people actually said yes to filling out a survey, and then close to 900 persons said yes to also being tested as well. So we were able to compare the survey responses among those who were tested versus those who were not tested to see if there were big differences between the two groups. And the tested group did indeed have slightly increased risk of infection, but it was not a large difference, and we're able to adjust for that in our results. So we think our results are pretty reasonable, but I would emphasize this is just one study, and we'll be repeating it every 3 to 4 weeks to see if we get consistent results. We're hoping that the surveys will also help us to track the trajectory of the epidemic over time.
Right, and I want to go back to one thing you said. So when you were talking about adjusting it, when you call people or reach out to them from the database, how do you adjust for the likelihood that people would agree to take part in your study if they felt that they might have contracted the virus but hadn't been tested for it?
Well, again, we were actually asking people. We were comparing results on the survey between people who actually agreed to testing versus those that did not. But it's true, we were only analyzing people who said yes to taking the survey. So we don't know how that differs from people who even refused to talk to us. But as we looked at the demographic characteristics of the people who participated, they were quite similar with the county population. So we don't think it's a perfect sample. No sample is perfect, but we think it's reasonable. It's better than just having put up a table on a corner and
Right.
just let anybody come and get tested.
Right, it's better than self-selection. And the reason that I ask is because, of course, anytime one of these studies comes out, there's always naysayers about the results of the study. And it seemed to me that the naysayers of your study didn't ask you directly. They just wrote articles about it. So I figured I would take this opportunity and allow you to address it yourself.